Hey, Shalom, Israel. Shalom. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Let me go double check the audio real quick. But first and foremost, want to give all honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikak, Wadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for bringing out the 100% truth and keeping it real. Salutations to the 144 hopeful elect of Israel who's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. And the 1/3 of Israel who believe in the word and follow the land wherever it goes. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom, y'all. Okay, audio coming through good. So this I'm gonna bring this epistle out right here. Through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shemashai, entitled You're Considered a Fool for Not Going Along with the Lies of This World. Something like that. This is somewhat common knowledge about the real beginning of the year. I just thought another scripture. All praise to Yahweh Shemashai. This epistle comes about from yesterday. I was in the line, taking care of some business, and this guy that I somewhat know comes up to me and shakes my hand, and he actually hurt my hand. He shook it so damn hard. Plus, I got like some shit going on in my hand. He squeezed the shit out of my hand. And the guy, the Edomite next to me too, he's a Jake that came up to me and shook my hand, talking about some damn Happy New Year, and he hurt my hand, and I'm like, so it just came out, bro. The New Year's not until March. I said, it just came out because because there's some aspects of the truth that are actually, knowledge of the world, supposedly, kind of, if anybody care to investigate it or whatever, but people still go along to get along with the bullshit, with the lies. That's what we're trying to talk about in this epistle. But for us, we've fully been converted and transformed, and no longer stand upon him that smoked us, but stand upon the Holy One of Israel in truth. So we know that the actual New Year comes in around the end of March, around the Passover time, the Passover, because it actually says it. This is going to be your Passover. That's the scripture I just thought about just a few minutes ago. We're going to get that scripture. This is going to be the Passover, the beginning of a new month, and the beginning of the year for you. That's what the scripture actually says. So the beginning of the year actually comes in the springtime, not in the dead of winter. And everybody knows that, Well, I don't want to say everybody, but anyway. So I said, I just told the guy, the New Year doesn't come until really March. They both of them looked at me, him and the Edomite, and they kind of like, because they hate that. They hate the truth. Because it's like, you can't talk about the truth with these people at all. It's not like I was talking about we're the Israelites or nothing like that, but you just can't say shit about pagan holidays, not supposed to celebrate your birthday. You can't talk about any of that thing with these brain dead people. They're in the congregation of the dead. They have no spirit. They're spiritually dead. So let's get that scripture, because the meat of this epistle right here, after I said that to the guy, there was a lady in front of me. I said, you know what? Because they kind of ignored me, kind of. They didn't say nothing about it, of course. But I could feel it. I could feel that they were cut. And, because it's like you burst somebody's bubble. Like you would tell a kid that there's no Santa Claus. Boop! Or tell somebody they're going off for, telling a Christian that they're going off for celebrating Easter or whatever. But I wasn't trying to do that at all. It just came out. Because sometimes it's like the end of the fucking month, bro. Salaki. It's the end of the damn month, and these ninjas, these coons still running around talking about something Happy New Year and shit. I can see that if you're still doing it around the 1st or the 2nd, or maybe even the 3rd. After that, let that shit go. Damn, Jake, at the end of the month, you still running up talking about some Happy New Year. Anyway, there was a lady in front of me, and she heard the whole thing, and I said, you know what? I said, let me Google that. Because I said, did you know? I started talking to her then. I said, I don't know why, whatever. I was feeling pretty good yesterday. I said, you know that, I said the New Year actually comes in at the around the March. And she was like, yeah, I've heard that. I said, yeah, it's because it's in the springtime when you start to grow, plant your plants and all that kind of stuff. And I, like, she's like, yeah, of course, we heard that. It makes sense. So I said, you know what? Let me Google that. We have these little small computers, and I Googled it. Here's the AI overview on that. I just typed in, was April Fool's Day started because they changed the new year to January? Simple question. And see, everybody's got this information if they want it, but no. What it say? They men love darkness rather than light. And like the title of the epistle, you don't want to be back in school they had something called peer pressure. And Salaki, if I'm all over the place. Back in school they had something called peer pressure. So people went along with the masses of the people. Just like the scripture speaks about the straight gate. It's a path of difficulty. It's separate. It's holy from everybody else. Everybody else, the masses are going to destruction, but that straight gate is a different path altogether. Breaking away from the norm, not being a part of this society, being separate and holy. And that's what the Lord has done for us in this 100% truth. So anyway, AI overview says, yes, one of the most popular theories regarding the origin of April Fool's Day, and that's where we get the thumbnail from, April Fool's Day, is that it began in 16th century France as a direct result of changing the new year from April 1st to January 1st. And there you go with the, let's get a scripture. There you go with the Renaissance period and all that. Revelation chapter 20, verse 7. And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Esau, Edom, coming back into rulership, coming back during the Renaissance era, with the Big Bang Theory, all their lies and deceptions, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. So the point is that they went out to deceive the nations, right? So one of the most popular theories regarding the origins of April Fool's Day is that it began in 16th century France as a direct result of changing the new year from April 1st to January 1st. Here's a breakdown of that history along with the nuances. The change in 1564, King Charles of France enacted the Edict of Roslin, moving the start of New Year's from Easter, which typically falls around late March, April 1st, to January 1st. The confusion. News traveled slowly in those days, and many people did not receive the update or were slow to accept it, continuing to celebrate New Year's on April 1st. The mockery. Those who adhered to the old calendar were mocked. In other words, those that adhered to the truth that the new year was in the springtime and not in the dead of winter. Look at what fool, didn't you get the memo? Didn't you get the memo that we changed? And let's get a scripture. Daniel. Hold on. No, wait, hold on. That's not that one. This one. Daniel chapter 7. Verse 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until the time and times and the dividing of times. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He do whatever he want. So he's able to change times and laws. Here, go back to this, and I put this in the description box. Just click on the title of this epistle, and in the drop down, and you can read it for yourself. The mockery. Those who adhered to the old calendar were mocked, labeled April Fools, and had pranks played on them, such as having paper fish stuck to their backs, a symbol of gullibility, or poissade d'avenir in French. They're saying that they're gullible because they adhered to the truth of when the new year, the truth of, when the Lord say the new year is going to come in, basically. The seasons that the Lord had created, they're adhering to that, and now they're mocked as being fools. And we're looking at this as a world point of view as well, not just, the 100% truth, but in general. Because this is a tradition of man that changed the new year into a lie. Just like they changed everything else into a lie. Just like they said the Messiah was a Caucasian man. That's a lie. Just like they said the Messiah came for all nations on the earth. That's a lie. And people run with all these lies. Okay? But if you go against these lies, you're considered a fool. There's something wrong with you. It says, is this theory definitely true? While this is the most common explanation, many historians consider it a legend or popular theory rather than proven fact, according to the Library of Congress. See, because there's always a dash of disbelief in there. Oh, yeah. No, it's always been January. I don't know where this come from. No, that's not the real reason. That's not the real meaning of April Fools. No, the new year was never at the end of March and January and the beginning of April. No. See, they always want to throw that confusion in there, just in case anybody starts looking around. Let me see. Evidence against. References to foolish behavior or pranks on April 1st exist in European literature, especially in 1561 poem that predate the 1564 French decree. Other potential origins. April Fool's Day might have roots in ancient festivals like... No, we're not going to read that. We're going to stick with what right up here. The first part. You're considered a fool because you continued. You didn't get the memo. You didn't change with everybody else, with the masses of people, to start celebrating the new year on January. You kept doing it in around March and April. So they mocked you and made you, talked about you as you some kind of damn fool. Okay, and that's what I wanted to just bring out right there. So the same with us. When we break out of these traditions of men, there's another scripture right there that just came to my mind. And we come back to the truth. Come back to Yahweh Shemashai. We're gonna be ostracized and looked down upon, considered fools. Colossians chapter 2 verse 8 KJV. It says, beware, watch out, lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit, lies, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahweh Shai. Now let's get the correct understanding of the new year. This will be the beginning of the year for you, KJV. And you see how plain that is? This would be, all I said, or typed in the Google search, this would be the beginning of the year for you, KJV. Okay? So look, this is Exodus chapter 12, verse 1. And the Lord spoke unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year for you. Speak ye unto the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little, and as you can see, it's simply going into the Passover. Okay, let's go. Let me go to my hold on, let me get I'm going to the YouTube studio here. Passover. I'm getting one of the videos about the Passover so we can look at around the date. I'm gonna get more than one. And let's go look at them real quick. This Passover, March 23, 24. So this Passover here, I'll put this in the description box too. There's another one. Passover, March 23. That's the same one, the same year, but it's different videos. Oh, wait a minute. That's this on the 23. This other one was on the 24th. So look, this one's March 5th to March 12th. That's the Passover for year 2023. And what did Yahweh Shemashai say? This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. So you can clearly see through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashai, the simplicity of Yahweh Shemashai, that the new year actually comes around March to April. That's what I wanted to bring out today and express. If you break away from the norm of this world, you're considered a fool. All the lies that they promote here, the social construct of white and black, even. A lot of people, they still run around with that lie. Instead of understanding that there's Jacob and Esau. Esau being the Edomites. Esau, Edom, the Caucasian race, the devil that the Bible speaks of, they are considered the Edomites. Jacob is the so-called Negro. Okay. Shoot, it didn't save. I'm gonna have to redo that. Hold on. Salaki, bro. Let me come back over here. I'm over here being distracted looking at that stuff. Let's go ahead and get the rest of these scriptures and close it out. So anyway, that was the meat of the epistle right here. This is the book of Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Knowledge is being increased in every which way. All things are being revealed in these last days. The truth about the new year, what the real new year is, the truth about who these nations are, the Edomites, the Moabites, the Japhites, the Ammonites, the Hamites, and the Israelites, baby, the so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American Indians. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 19. Let's start at verse 18. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise. That's right. I'll be that. I don't mind being a fool to this world. Okay. I don't mind, saying, knowing the truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. I'm thankful to have the eye salve, to be able to see the truth through the lies. Okay. Let him become a fool that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh Shemashai. It's just a bunch of lies that are vain. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. Okay? And again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. All these things that people worship and they hold dear are vain. They are unprofitable. Because this world is going to come to naught. The kingdom of heaven is at hand, And I think we're going to close it out with 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 10. Unless we get something else. It says, we are fools for Yahweh's sake. That's right. We are fools, man. We, through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shemashai, the teachers of the elders, apostles, great millstone, the Lord has allowed us, to break away from this world, to not have the spirit of the world, to come back to him, to know that we're the Israelites and know that we got next, you know what? There's another one I wanted to get to. For we are fools for Yahweh's sake, but ye are wise in Yahweh. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. That's right, The truth, people hate the truth. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate. They actually hate Yahweh, but they claim that they uphold, the Bible, but they don't. Let me see. I want to get this one. As for faith, it shall flourish. KJV. As for faith, it shall flourish. It's second Ezra. Hold on, I'm going to have to do it again. Oh, there it is. Okay. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 27. I'm going to close it out with this. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. All these lies, bro. The truth is being revealed in all kind of aspects. The Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, is making their tongue fall upon themselves. You got Egyptian upon Egyptian. You got Vladimir Putin coming out, open up the vault, saying, no, the Negroes are the Lord's chosen people. The Messiah was a Negro with woolly hair and skin of bronze. All this truth is coming out now. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared, bro. So this is a little short epistle, man. Through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah. Just, just something of, the truth. Just walking in the truth, understanding the truth, and being set free from all these lies and being made separate and holy from this world and all this shit that they promote on the daily. It's all over the place, man. Everything is upside down. Everything is corrupt. The whole earth, whole foundations of the earth are out of course, bro. So all praises to Yahweh Shem Shah for this truth, for this wisdom, for this knowledge, understanding, this, this hope of salvation, and this mercy. So, with that, I'll be a fool. I'll be a fool because I'm always going to look at this as the new year around this time, around the Passover, And of course, we're in the world, but not of it. Of course, we still go along. Sometimes we say Happy New Year, whatever. But, dude, I know you, Don't be coming up at me talking about some damn. But that's the ignorance of our people anyway, They know you. They know you're a preacher. They don't care because they don't know. They don't see. That's why we're not, we don't hang out with them and don't all that, no. Who is my mother, my brother, my sister? Those that do the will of Yahweh Shem Shah. So with that, I want to give all honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekak, Wadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for bringing out 100% truth and keeping it real. Salutations to the 144 hopefully elect of Israel, pushing his word in all truth and sincerity. And the 1/3 of Israel who believe in the word and follow the Lamb wherever he goeth. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom, y'all.